our brothers and sisters, we've lived together for years now. Say no to violence now. No religion preaches violence. We need understanding and tolerance. You can be you, I can be me, that's the way it should be. Say no to violence now. Sing it one more time. Peace, peace, peace. Let's all embrace peace. In the family, in schools, at work, everywhere. Say no to violence now.
I thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Muhammad. Thank you, Emeka. Thank you, Sade. Thank you, Allah. We can never repay you, but from our hearts we like to say that we thank you. Our soldiers, our agents, our airmen, our officers. We can never repay you, but from our hearts we like to say that we thank you. We can never repay you for the legs lost. We can never repay for the arms lost. We can never repay for the lives lost. But from our hearts, well done, Ashe, Agode, well done, Ashe, Agode, not too much.
Security now everybody business Nigeria. Stay on never make it look well. Shine your eyes, my people.
Supreme Court knocks the gavel in favor of Governor Willie Obiano. 16 lawyers join the high table in the ranks of the bar.
I discovered the assembly is ongoing. The children are mingling already.
Schools reopen across the country with some classrooms under lock and key. Plus, All Progressives Congress picks December the 2nd for choosing a presidential candidate. Good evening. Welcome to NTA Network News. I'm Cyril Stober. The Supreme Court has upheld the eligibility of Mr. Willie Obiano as the governor of Anambra State. In a judgment delivered by the nation's apex court, the Anambra State governor was adjudged to have gone through a legitimate process to stand election as governor. Judiciary correspondent Femi Okewu reports.
Two candidates in the 2013 Anambra State governorship election, Chris Ngige of APC and Tony Uwoye of PDP, had challenged the eligibility of Governor Willie Obiano to stand elections as governor. They had also claimed that Mr. Obiano had engaged in multiple registration. Having lost at the Court of First Instance and the Court of Appeal, the two proceeded to the land's apex court. In a judgment presided over by Justice Mahmood Mohammed and read by Justice Olukayode Ariwola, the Supreme Court said that the appeal against Governor Obiano's eligibility lacked merit. On the accusation of multiple registration, the Supreme Court said that although Governor Obiano initially registered in Lagos, he followed the proper procedure to have INEC transfer his registration to Anambra subsequently. The court therefore dismissed the appeal. In Abuja, Femi Okeowo, NTA News.
And the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Aloma Mariam Mukhtar, has called for the protection of the integrity of the nation's judiciary if Nigeria is to truly progress. She made the call at the opening of the 2014-2015 legal year of the Supreme Court. Here again is Femi Okeowo.
This is Justice Aloma Mariam Mukhtar's last celebration of the Nigerian legal year as Chief Justice of Nigeria. While acknowledging that so much has been achieved in justice delivery, Justice Mukhtar's primary concern has always been the trust, reliability, and integrity which she maintains is the only way the judiciary can play its role as arbiter properly. But this, she says, is being continuously dragged to the mud either by practitioners or members of the public who discredit judges. She says all these must stop.
Nigerians must realize that judicial decisions must be independent and impartial and must not be dictated by public opinion or convenience.
Attorney General of the Federation and the NBA President both spoke in the same vein, calling for judicial independence and ethical conduct by both the judiciary and the legal practitioners. Now, after all the stock-taking and assessment of the legal profession and the judiciary, one thing is obvious about the incoming legal year, that 2015 is going to be a very loaded and active year for the profession, which is why all the calls are being made for both the judiciary and the legal profession to rise up to the challenges of 2015. From the Supreme Court.
Meanwhile, 16 of the 17 new senior advocates of Nigeria appointed by the Legal Practitioners Privileges Committee have been sworn in. It was at the Supreme Court presided over by the Chief Justice of Nigeria. Once again, Femi has that report.
The rank of Senior Advocate of Nigeria is the highest professional honor for legal practitioners in the country. It was first bestowed on Chief Rotimi Williams and Graham Douglas in 1975, after which the set of Chief Obafemi Awolowo and 12 others followed in 1978. Since then, it has become an annual ritual and now coming on the first day of a new legal year. This year's admission into the inner bar, as it is called, has no woman practitioner, but has two who were admitted on the strength of their contributions in the academics.
Since I've been crowned now, I'm now in a position to lead in a greater way in the academic field, even though I've also stepped into the legal practice now.
The leader of the bar, you have to show example to the younger ones. You also have to assist the court.
Others acknowledged the added responsibility the honor has brought.
There could be a lot of frustration, but when you are persistent, then at the end of the day, it pays off.
I believe that I have been saddled with much more responsibility to be in a leadership position to all those people coming behind us.
Chief Olu Anagorua, a former Attorney General of the Federation who leads the park of this 17, will be sworn in at a separate ceremony on Tuesday due to his state of health. In Abuja, Femi Okeowo, NTA News.
Speaker of the House of Representatives, Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, has observed that some of the noticeable weaknesses in the current act establishing the Public Complaints Commission to a great extent hinder the effective and efficient workings of the Commission. National Assembly correspondent Aishat Zango Abdullahi puts the Speaker at a public hearing on a bill for an act to repeal and reenact a new bill for the Commission.
Declaring the public hearing open, Speaker Aminu Waziri Tambuwal highlighted that the proposed bill is aimed at strengthening the work of the Commission and realigning its administrative structure with the changing geopolitical character of the country, adding that this is with a view to enhancing service delivery of the Commission.
It could be argued that the establishment of Servicom to enhance service delivery was aimed at filling the gap created by ineffectiveness of the Public Complaint Commission.
Both members of the ad hoc committee on the review of the 1999 Constitution and the Committee on Public Petitions say the new act, when passed into law, will enable the Commission to function effectively.
Unfortunately, the Commission, as we know it today, cannot be said to be living up to its billing.
The public hearing was on a bill for an act to repeal and reenact the Public Complaints Commission Act, with wide powers to inquire into complaints by members of the public concerning the administrative actions of any public authority and companies or their officials, and for other matters. From the National Assembly, Aishatu Zango Abdullahi, NTA News.
And it's back to classes in primary and secondary schools in the Federal Capital Territory for the 2014-2015 academic year. Franca Uzoma Olua, who visited some of the schools, says they are taking practical steps to safeguard children from possible spread of the Ebola virus.
An exciting day for the students of Junior Secondary School, Area 11, Garki, Abuja, as they get ready for another school session. Apart from scaling through the academic hurdle, the students will now take lessons on personal hygiene. The idea is to prevent the spread of the Ebola virus disease.
If you know you are not feeling fine, come out now. We don't want any students to fall down and collapse.
The briefing by the vice principal is to get the teachers ready for further illustrations to students in the classrooms.
We are giving one thermometer, then sanitizer, and we couldn't get hypo, and the hand glove.
This woman accompanied her daughter to school.
I discovered the assembly is ongoing. The children are mingling already, but we can't find those things around.
In many public schools, protective gadgets such as hand gloves, sanitizers, infrared thermometers, and buckets of water are on display.
Ebola virus is a deadly disease, and it can kill. The symptoms are vomiting, red eye, diarrhea.
So how do you prevent it?
By keeping your environment clean, making sure that you wash your hands.
Hand washing and temperature check have now become the norm at the entrance of some schools. One major advantage for many schools in the Federal Capital Territory is the availability of running water, a key preventive measure for the Ebola virus disease. But the Civil Society Coalition on Education for All, SACEFA, is still not satisfied with the situations in some parts of the country.
I'm not satisfied in one sense that the training that was given was not properly, they were not properly trained. I'm not satisfied also because most of our schools are yet to have access to quality water.
For now, this private school in Jabila Kimbu is yet to reopen. The proprietor says it is yet to put things in place. In Abuja, Franca Uzoma Olua, NTA News.
And as primary and secondary schools in some parts of the country resume today, heads of the education sector in some states of the Federation say they have activated the machinery to check infection of the Ebola virus disease in their schools through the provision of needed facilities. They were speaking on NTA's breakfast program, Good Morning Nigeria. Timothy Yusuf reports.
Primary and secondary schools in the country were meant to reopen for the 2014-2015 academic session on September 15th, but were asked to suspend resumption until October 13. This was to enable government effectively contain the Ebola virus disease imported into the country by Liberia National, Mr. Patrick Sawyer. The extension of resumption date was to enable school authorities to take adequate precautionary measures to prevent spread of the disease among school children. The federal government, however, had reason to revert the October 13 resumption date to September 22, following experts' advice that the Ebola virus disease was not a threat to academic activities, more so that government tackled it headlong. Some states of the Federation, including the Federal Capital Territory, complied with the directive, as stakeholders say they have put measures to ensure safety of all.
We have addressed all the head teachers and principals, all of them, before the NUT that normally gives them directives either to open or not to open. And NUT was satisfied that we have provided all the necessary items that they insisted must be provided. And NUT told the teachers and the head teachers that, yes, we are satisfied, go and reopen schools, go and resume. We will go around and see physically that.
We organized training workshop for teachers In line with the directive of the Federal Ministry of Education, 2 teachers from each school in Enugu have been trained. And what they're doing this morning in schools is they're beginning to replicate the training we have given to them on how to use the equipment that have been provided by government. This is happening in public and private schools in Enugu.
We define the procedure that one, the infrared thermometer that were procured by government and distributed to school, as you are coming into the school compound, you are tested. That is to determine your temperature range. And after that, the people enter inside the school compound, they go straight to the wash hand basin and wash their hand with the sanitizer, because we have automatic soap dispensers and means with Dettol as in line with the prescription that we were given. And after you wash your hand, you drop your bag, then you come for the assembly.
Part of measures adopted by state governments was establishment of desk officers to work with principals and education secretaries to further ensure that Ebola virus disease does not raise its head in their schools. The stakeholders enjoined parents not to panic, adding that they should resist allowing any of their children with symptoms of fever and other related diseases from coming to school until certified okay. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
And also related to the resumption of schools, the project director of Nigeria's Center for Disease Control, Professor Abdulsalami Nasidi, says it has become imperative to instill proper sanitation and hygiene in school operations. It was at a media briefing on reducing incidences of disease transmission among teachers and pupils in Nigeria's educational system. Murjanatu Adam Saeed reports.
Nigerian government to fix schools resumption for September 22nd was based on technical and scientific evidence that Nigeria is free from the Ebola virus disease.
In Nigeria, we don't have the 3 modes of transmission, which is the rural, urban, and community transmission. We have only 1 urban imported case, which infected some Nigerians, and that has now been contained. So then, thirdly, we believe that. Going back to school without teachers, then you don't have the right stakeholders. They don't have the right activity.
That the federal government directed all states to provide protective measures in both private and public schools in case there is an emergency.
When the federal government said state government should go, use that time to provide those things, the sanitizers in schools, the infrared thermometers, all these things, so that the teachers can use them. And even that they should train the teachers. These were the direction of the federal government. Train the teachers to know exactly what to do at the instance of such happening.
Nigerian Union of Teachers believe that the Ebola virus disease has been contained, but insisted on further adequate measures to protect teachers and pupils against all transmittable diseases in Nigeria. Murjanatu Adam Saeed, NTA News.
And away from the Ebola virus disease, President Goodluck Jonathan is on his way to New York to attend the 69th UN General Assembly. The president had a stopover in London for a private visit. He was received on arrival at the Heathrow Airport by Nigeria's High Commissioner to the UK, Ambassador Sarki Tafida. The president has been accompanied by Senator Philip Aduda and Senator Emmanuel Polka. And still ahead, civil service pensioners once again appeal for their benefits. The details after these messages.
Transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood.
Change is never easy. It was not easy for Dr. Martin Luther King when Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew transformed Singapore from third world to first world. It was not easy. They stoned him. It was not easy for Nelson Mandela.
I, Barack Hussein Obama.
It was not easy for Barack Obama. Nothing worthwhile ever is. Dr. Martin Luther King did it. Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew did it. Nelson Mandela did it. Barack Obama did it. Goodluck Jonathan is doing it. He is transforming Nigeria. Mr. President, keep doing it. We who are with you are so many more. than those who are against you. A message from Protectors of Nigerian Posterity.
Guys, I did try remember the code to buy MTN internet bundle.
That one easy now. Make I help you Google the thing. Nah.
Just dial *123#.
I dey use BB now.
Just dial *123#.
If I want change tariff plan, uncle.
Same thing.
Of course. That's why it comes simple.
For faster access to MTN services, just dial *123#.
MTN, everywhere you go. He builds schools all over the country. He is giving free education to over 10,000 poor children. Born an Igbo man, raised in the north and empowered by the west. He believes in the unity of Nigeria. He is compassionate. He transformed Imo in 3 years. Every day, he thinks about the people. Owele Rochas Okorocha, Senior Advocate of the Nigerian masses and Commander of Free Education, come to the rescue. This message is from Nigeria Rescue Group.
Want your bathroom to dazzle? Give your toilet the Hypo treatment to brighten and also kill germs, so your bathroom stays disinfected and squeaky clean.
Share the joy of a seamless connection. Visafone, your passport to reach the world.
The Presidential Technical Committee on Land Reform, in collaboration with the government of Enugu State, invite honorable commissioners and permanent secretaries of Ministries of Land, Housing and Urban Development, and other stakeholders in land administration in the Southeast Zone to a stakeholders workshop on land reform and implementation of systematic land titling and registration, holding at Universal Hotel, Independence Layout, Enugu, from September 23rd to 24th, 2014 by 10 a.m. Host Enugu State Governor, His Excellency Sullivan Ihanacho Chime, Special Guest of Honor, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator Anyim Pius Anyim. All Executive Governors of the Southeast States are expected as co-host. Professor Peter O. Adeniyi, Chairman, Announcer.
Another day goes by. I'm still by your side. I will always be here at your side. I got you still. I always will. We're in this together. I won't let you down. Always there for you, by your side every day.
For more than 40 years, Thermocool has always been there for you. And we always will be.
Transformation ambassadors of Nigeria.
My good people of Nigeria, does anybody use mirror to look at what you have at hand? No! Good luck at the ingredients of life. Automobile industries, full encouragement. Second Niger bridge from mirage to reality. Good luck! Railways, seaports and airports are come back to modern life. Good luck! Or a Benin highway and other federal highways from dead trap to modern spectacle. Good luck! There you are. Petrol and nyaf with control price and so many other etc. Good luck I do. Good luck are going to do. And good luck will be yours. Are you see what I'm saying? Only good luck affects the security challenges of Nigeria with honesty and commitment. Fighting terrorism to a halt. Kachina Kemeziokwu.
Good luck continue for Nigeria.
This message is brought to you courtesy Transformation Ambassadors of Nigeria. TAN, for one vision, Nigeria.
Shopee has ensured the reconstruction of the Abuja-Lokoja Road and the East-West Road in Port Harcourt.
The standard gauge rail tracks from Abuja to Kaduna and Lagos to Kano indicate that our trains are coming back.
The second Niger Bridge in the southeast and the Loco Oweto Bridge in the north-central are in progress, thanks to Shopee.
Shopee's mass transit program has made transportation easier for Nigerians.
Shopee has rehabilitated over 1,000 health centers across Nigeria.
Shopee has provided mama kits to pregnant women, and polio is on the verge of eradication.
Shopee has also ensured the provision of social amenities, and through its various training programs for young people, guarantees a better future.
Shopee, delivering service with integrity.
The Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria, in conjunction with Good Governance Vanguard, are drumming support for the re-election of President Goodluck Jonathan come the 2015 presidential election. The group unanimously agreed that the Jonathan-led administration has brought transformation in various socio-economic spheres of the country and needs to consolidate on the already laid foundation.
He's a humble man, very humble. He don't behave like other presidents who say election is going to be do or die. So I'm putting my weight behind him for these reasons.
I am very comfortable working with them. I have full trust in them. And I know if they tell Jonathan we are coming, what it means is that they are there for him.
And while the groups call on all Nigerians to support the move to further deepen the country's democracy, they say their various groups are standing firm for President Jonathan's re-election. In still more politics, the All Progressive Congress, APC, has fixed December the 2nd, 2014 for its national convention to elect its presidential candidate for next year's general elections. Correspondent Abdullahi Garba Brendan Kudu reports on this and other scheduled primaries of the party.
A breakdown of the timetable as released by the APC National Secretariat indicates that the collection of expression of interest forms and sales of the forms will begin October 6th and end on November 6th for the presidential aspirants. This would follow with the screening of the aspirants and appeals between November 10th to 14th, while the presidential primary election holds on the 2nd of December. The sales of forms for governorship aspirants has been slated for 20th October to 9th of November, with the primary election put for November 15th. For the National Assembly House of Representatives primary election is for November 24, and that of Senate has been fixed for the 29th of the same month. The APC has also agreed to hold its State Assembly primary election for November 8th. The 2015 elections will be the first outing of APC in Nigeria's general election history. In Abuja, Abdullahi Garba Kudu, NTA News.
As Nigeria joins the global community to mark the United Nations International Day of Peace, First Lady Dame Patience Jonathan has urged the citizens to stride towards the promotion of peaceful coexistence amongst them, for the country to prosper and continue to play the role of beacon of hope for Africa and global peace. The First Lady made the call in her message on the occasion of the 2014 International Day of Peace, organized by the Institute for Peace and Conflict Resolution in Abuja. Correspondent Ifeanyi Zumba reports.
The 2014 International Day of Peace, which has as its theme the right of people to peace, is a reaffirmation of the very foundation on which the United Nations itself was established 69 years ago. It shows that significant mileage has been covered on the road to global peace. The First Lady, Dame Patience Jonathan, represented by the SA to the President on African First Lady's Peace Mission, Martha Ozurumba, said, as peace lovers, we have the responsibility to make the world peaceful enough for existence.
I plead that we desist from any act, both directly and indirectly, that will cause harm or death to fellow human beings.
Since every right goes with responsibilities, we must always act in ways that do not violate the right of others to peace.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Viola Onwuliri, represented by Ambassador Gordon Bristol, emphasized the need for this day to be observed as a day of global ceasefire and non-violence.
Universal peace would mean the achievement of the life of dignity and well-being for all, not just the few.
The Norwegian ambassador to Nigeria, Rolf Ree, extolled the leadership role of Nigeria to African unity and global peace. In a lecture by Professor Patricia Donley of the University of Maiduguri on the right to peace, stressed that Nigerians' diversity should make the nation stronger.
Let us fight for peace and defend it with all our might.
The quintessential role of the further state, the media, to global peace came to the fore in the lecture and also in the goodwill message from the Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Mr. Shola Omole, who emphasized the role of NTA in nurturing peace as a veritable ingredient for functional development of the society.
The three roles, mundane roles of the media, that is, information, education, and entertainment, what is paramount and fundamental to NTA is a message of national integration, peaceful coexistence in an amalgam of one nation, one destiny.
The only solution to peace, or the only way to peace, is peace. I also tell you that another way to peace is dialogue.
National Unity and Peace Corps and the Theatre Group of University of Abuja presented message in a song, United We Stand, Divided We Fall. In Abuja, Ifeanyi Ezumba, NTA News.
The non-payment of pension arrears to retirees in the Federal Civil Service under the Pay-As-You-Go scheme came to the fore today with an appeal to the federal government to intervene in the current bureaucratic bottlenecks responsible for delayed and outright non-payment. Correspondent Emmanuel Aimi Rowe reports that the appeal came up during their general meeting held in Abuja.
Pensioners under the old scheme of pay-as-you-go system say their cases have become so pathetic as arrears from June 2010 till now are yet to be paid. The way out, they say, is for money to be released to the Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate, a body responsible to handle their cases, so that the backlog of arrears can be settled gradually.
This thing they are holding from 2010 to now, we are still going to ask for more from 2015, because after 5 years they have to review pension. It is like that in the law.
Last year they appealed to us to wait for 2014 budget. This is September 2014. The budget has since been passed. They appeal again. Let us wait for cash backing. If there is no cash backing in September, when will the cash backing come?
Meanwhile, the Director General of the Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate, Nelil Meshach, who spoke off camera, said the delay is due to the computation of the pensioners to ascertain the authenticity of their documents and eligibility. In Abuja, Emmanuel Ayemiro, NTA News.
Research findings have shown that women and young girls are more exposed to mobile reading and for longer periods than their male counterparts. Experts say this is good news for literacy and skills development through the use of ICT's radio and television to empower women and girls. This is the focus at a two-day workshop for media facilitators in Kubwa, near Abuja. Phoebe Kabaruk has the details.
It is estimated that Nigeria's literacy level stands at 53%, while the remaining 47% cannot read and write, with women and girls accounting for over 60% of this percentage. The main thrust of this workshop, therefore, is to train media practitioners, mobile phone applicators and operators on the literacy by radio methodology adapted from Cuba, adapting the literacy radio scripts for television production and mobile phones application.
In that method, you cannot talk about something that is not Nigerian. You must look at examples that will make sense to him.
Regional Director and Representative of UNESCO, Professor Hassana Alido, represented by Dr. Safia Mohammed, said participants have been carefully selected to assist with the best package literacy project using radio, TV, and mobile phones.
This is the blueprint of getting the primers into mobile phones so that women and girls can use wherever they are.
It's time to wake up and face the problems we have. There are two as far as I'm concerned, and they work together. It is illiteracy and poverty.
The FCT and River State are beneficiaries of the pilot project, which has so far been developed into 22 Nigerian languages expected to be supported by the state and local government areas of the country. Phoebe Kabruk, NTA News.
Hey, we're watching NTA Network News. Time now to go over to Ademola in our Lagos studio for more reports, beginning with school's resumption. Ademola, the usual school run has begun, hasn't it?
Not really in Lagos, because the schools are supposed to reopen today, but the state government postponed it till the 8th of October. And now to the story. Most schools in Lagos remain closed following the state government's decision to postpone resumption to the 8th of October. Jane Ojukwu went around the metropolis to assess the situation.
Our visit to most public primary and secondary schools revealed that the gates were either under lock and keys or a presence of the head teachers and teachers.
Most of the things we're supposed to take delivery of, we've not taken delivery of them, and I don't want us to risk, the lives of children because of money.
All the necessary equipment they're supposed to give us to combat with the Ebola is ready, but they are yet to dispatch to the schools.
The situation was, however, different at the military schools visited by the NTA crew.
We have resumed fully, and all the equipment required to test and screen the children were put in place.
It's only the student we tested, all the teachers.
How do parents feel about releasing their children to school?
The sanitizer, we have to check their pressure and things like that.
This prevention has really been high among school authorities. So it is hoped that both the schools in session and those that will resume on the 8th of October will comply with the laid down procedures on combating the Ebola virus so as to complement government's efforts. In Lagos, Jane Ojukwu, NTA News.
Considering the recapitalization of primary mortgage banks, which resulted in the mobilization of huge deposits and significant risk assets, the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation, NDIC, is sensitizing the operators of the primary mortgage banks to implement an effective and sustainable risk management principles. In this direction, the operators are attending a 2-day workshop in Lagos where some selected world-class risk managers are updating the operators with current realities in mortgage banking. Abdullahi Mohammed reports.
It can be recalled that the most recent financial crisis that shocked the world of investment is traceable to the financial recklessness which crushed the United States mortgage system. That crisis has left a bitter lesson which calls for vigilance to grow and sustain a sound mortgage system in Nigeria. Therefore, the NDIC for the first time brought together operators of the primary mortgage banks. This is with a view to exposing them to the new realities of risk management. The Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer NDIC, Umar Ibrahim, says this is expected to check the risk of creating toxic assets in the system.
They are very much aware of the growing opportunities for them to finance more housing delivery in the country, for them to access long-term, fairly cheap long-term funds. There is an opportunity which the Nigerian Mortgage Refinancing Company will extend to the sector, but this can only be benefited by well-run and well-managed primary mortgage banks.
The NDIC's Managing Director also urged the operators to imbibe the tenets of good corporate governance with emphasis to the creation of mortgage portfolios that meet the housing demands of Nigerians. This workshop is another step taken by the NDIC to reposition the operators of primary mortgage banks in order to help Nigeria in achieving its aspirations of providing affordable housing for millions of its citizens. In Lagos, Abdullah Mohammed, NTA News.
Another lucky customer of First City Monument Bank, FCMB, has been made ₦1 million richer at the ongoing FCMB 30th anniversary promo Reloaded. The Lagos and Southwest draws, which took place in Ado-Ekiti, also produced various other winners with fantastic prizes.
It's a draw that is done simultaneously in the north, southeast and south-south geopolitical zones of the country, with each zone producing a winner of ₦1 million. Lagos Southwest Zone draw rolled out in Ado-Ekiti made Oshodi Folusho, an FCMB customer based in Lagos, ₦1 million richer.
Last year, we're 30 years old, and we actually started a program to say thanks to our customers, which we call the FCMB 30th anniversary program. Now we did that from October to April this year. Because of the success and the need to reach out to more customers, we decided to have the 30th anniversary Reloaded. And today is the third draw. It's also going to be a series of 4 draws, like the one we did for last year. We had over 402 customers winning various prizes. 3 won SUVs and 9 won each.
It's very, very transparent. However, we saw the zeal of the regional manager. He never wanted to, disenfranchise some people's rights. He kept on calling.
Other customers of FCMB were also lucky, as the digital draw produced the digits that makes them owners of various kinds of home appliances.
It was so transparent that every one of us could see.
The FCMB 30th anniversary promo is still on, with a brand new SUV up for grabs.
There are those that seek to divide Nigeria, to take us back to another time. But the future belongs to all Nigerians, and we are building that future together. Improving education at every level and in every region, the roads that bring commerce, the energy supply to power our economy, and safer water for our villages and families. The infrastructure to support and grow an advanced society. But building the largest economy in all of Africa is not enough. The mission now is to lift every Nigerian up together. So to those that want to divide us, we say the future belongs to all Nigerians. We can't go back. Good luck, Jonathan. One Nigeria, moving forward together.
Do your part. Download the free Forward NG mobile app in the App Store or visit forwardnigeria.ng.
Join us and keep Nigeria moving forward together.
I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be healthy, well-fed, and patriotic. To use Rijico and to patronize made in Nigeria products for better health and economy. My husband and son running home to eat every day.
Yes, Rijico tomato paste adds flavor and life to your meals. Fresh from the farm, specially packaged for your healthy feeding. Rijico tomato paste, food for love. Produced in Nigeria by Erisco Foods Limited, a subsidiary of Erisco Bumpet Group.
The EcoBank Giant Prize Giveaway promo is here again with loads of prizes. Just save 10 or 50,000 naira in your EcoBank account for 2 months, and you can win home appliances, smartphones, inverters, and so on. But you leave the money for 6 months, you stand a chance of winning the grand prizes of 1 million naira and 2.5 million naira cash at the grand draw. This promo is from September 1st to February 28, 2015. Open an EcoBank account now. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
For the sweetest scent, for the highest flight, for the fastest drive, form follows function. The world's first curved OLED TV. Picture perfect. It's all possible. possible. LG OLED TV.
Hey, chai, my people! For September 24th, 2014, the change go start. This change now to take rearrange our government, make our economy day bam, and our security go tanda chim. This change now for national reconcile, and it go make work jabrata for people who not get work. Atiku Abubakar, the Turaki Adamawa, go announce say him don ready to contest for president under him party will be the All Progressive Congress (APC) for the 2015 election where they come.
Atiku don talk and say God bless this our country well, and if we get better people for government, this we country go. They can't pay like one of the Ogbonge countries there for this world.
Time for action and now, and with your support, Atiku don tanda gidigba to give us better leadership.
Make una come join Atiku Abubakar for Shehu Musa Yaradua Center, Abuja, on the 24th of September 2014. The time na 10 a.m.
If we join hands together with Atiku, we go build Nigeria where everybody go happy. Atiku 2015, a Nigeria for all, because now all of us waka come.
Names, I'm Divine. She never looks back, but not on those days. I'm Vanessa. She likes to move it, but not on those days. Today, no more issues because tissues always lots of liquid inside, up to 8 hours. No stain, no check. I'm in a no check mode. I'm more anyhow, always. I'm unstoppable. Stay happy, always.
And talking financial matters now, Nigeria's foreign exchange reserves rises to $40.7 billion. Plus, Central Bank of Nigeria approves incentive and usage of electronic payment system. These and more with Shikola Ipinaye on Business News.
Good evening. On Business News tonight, Nigeria's external reserves have appreciated to $40.7 billion as at September 17. The reserves rose from $39.1 billion to $40.7 billion. Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, who announced the new figure at the last Monetary Policy Committee meeting, said the external reserves at the current level provide approximately 7 months of import cover for the country. Mr. Emefiele, however, said switching from domestic to imported food production to meet the shortfall in domestic food production in the country as a result of insurgency in some parts of the country is putting huge pressure on external reserves. In the meantime, the Central Bank's Monetary Policy Committee meeting's retention of the monetary rates at current levels has been generating discourse in the nation's economic arena. A financial analyst, Odelim Enwagbara, in an interview with NTA Business News, called on the Apex Bank to move cash reserve requirement for public sector deposits to 95%, while the cash reserve requirement for private sector should be reviewed downwards to 5%. This, he believes, will afford the development of the real sector of the economy. The Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria rose from its 240th meeting last Friday, resolving to retain the nation's monetary stance at the current levels of 12% for monetary policy rate, 15% for private sector cash reserve requirements, and 75% for public sector cash requirements. And to further encourage persistent usage of electronic payments in Nigeria, the Central Bank of Nigeria has approved an industry-wide incentive scheme and awareness campaign for electronic payments stakeholders and users. In a circular signed by the Director of Banking and Payment System Department of the CBN, Dipo Fatokun, to all deposit money banks and all licensed payment service providers, the CBN said the scheme will reward and appreciate usage across all channels, with emphasis on channels of electronic payments that promote financial inclusion. The circular stated that the scheme has identified and will reward 3 categories of users, which include consumers, merchants, and salespersons. That's it on Business Tonight. I am Shikola Ipinaye.
And now returning to the reopening of schools across the country, public and private schools are ready to open for the new academic session in parts of Plateau State. But a report says the turnout was low on day 1 this Monday. Correspondent Eric Doom reports from
a week ago,
The Plateau State government brought together teachers, school proprietors and other stakeholders to sensitize them on the measures government is adopting preparatory to the resumption date, promising to provide basic protective equipment that will prevent the spread of the Ebola virus in schools. Although most schools in Plateau State have resumed in line with federal government's directive, most students from the private schools have resumed compared with those of public schools. Checks by our crew shows that the turnout of teachers could be described as impressive from one school to the other.
Two basic conditions are training of the staff, which we've fully done, and we did that across both private and public, primary and secondary schools.
Meeting with officials of the Ministries of Health and Education, teachers and proprietors have expressed reservations over the level of preparedness of government to provide the basic equipment to detect and prevent the spread of the virus. In Jos, Eric Dooms, NTA News.
And let's see what the situation is like in Edo State as we link up with Amenze in our Benin Network Center. Amenze.
Thank you very much, sir. Welcome to Benin. Public and private schools in Edo State have reopened for the new academic session as directed by the federal government. Philomena Ugbebe reports, however, that there were no anti-Ebola virus facilities on ground, especially in government schools visited, while a few mission and private schools had wash hand bowls and containers of sanitizers in place. The report is here presented.
In compliance with government directive, pupils, students and their teachers turned out in their numbers for school resumption. The required facilities like infrared thermometers, hand sanitizers and wash hand bowls were mostly seen in private schools, while it was a different story in government schools.
I'm happy for the facilities created, even the body infrared thermometer they use in scanning us when coming into the school, and making it a priority for us to wash our hands always.
We did not meet anything like buckets or places that we could wash our hands.
They promised that the state government will provide soonest.
On efforts by the state government to ensure compliance with the anti-Ebola spread measures, the Edo State Commissioner for Basic Education said although the country has been declared Ebola-free, priority is being given to the training of personnel to cope with any incident that may occur.
We have appointed desk officers and zoned the state in compartments. We have also put measures in place to ensure that waters are supplied to the rural area where there are no tap waters.
22nd of September was approved by the federal government for schools resumption nationwide in the wake of the Ebola outbreak and effective control of the disease.
The Federal Ministry of Finance has held a one-day graduate internship opportunities fair in Benin City. The exercise was to create awareness and bring together partnership firms and aspiring interns for immediate selection, matching and development for job positions. The Minister of Works, Mr. Ono Lememe, was amongst guests at the event.
The Graduate Internship Scheme is one of the intervention projects of the SURE-P. It is for unemployed graduates. Minister of Works, Mike Ono Lememe, said it is one of the positive strides of the Goodluck Jonathan's transformation agenda towards actualization of the Vision 2020.
They are going to be selected based on their skills and matched with certain industries in the state based on their areas of study.
Edo State PDP Chairman Chief Dan Obi said it was a desirable venture as youths constitute the major workforce of the country. Some of the participants spoke on the benefits of the scheme.
This program they have started is going to help a lot of Nigerian graduates get jobs.
I believe the President Jonathan administration is doing very well with the SURE-P program.
Over 400 graduates took part in the program.
That report concludes our package from Benin. Back to you, Cyril.
Thank you, Amenze. The Minister of Power, Mohammed Wakil, says the federal government is taking concrete steps towards addressing the blackout in Borno State, which has been on in the last 3 months. The minister, while inspecting the transmission substation along Baga Road in Maiduguri, said all ongoing power projects in the state are being fast-tracked Correspondent Yagum Subukar reports.
Upon arrival at the Bagaro station, the minister was briefed by and on challenges against the of approval.
I'm afraid we can't continue with that report due to the poor audio quality. Governor Theodore Orji says the southeast geopolitical zone is steadily moving towards increased power supply as 42 electricity distribution companies come on stream out of the 291 across the country under the National Integrated Power Project, NIPP. Governor Orji of Abia State, who represents the zone on the NIPP board, commended President Jonathan for carrying stakeholders along in the implementation of the project.
The issue of power will become a thing of the past. So what I would say here is just to encourage the presidency, especially the vice president who is chairman of NIPP, to go ahead with the good job he's doing. So that power is critical to us. And the federal government is placing a lot of emphasis on the development and improvement of power.
For details on the transformation of the power sector, stay tuned to Power Links tonight on the network service, immediately after the network news. We'll take another break now. The news continues shortly.
Taxation as alternative source of revenue is the focus on NTA Tuesday Live this week. Tuesday Live, informative, educative and engaging. Don't be told. Join us.
The public is invited to the public presentation of the book, Suswam, Politics and Governance in Benue, an insider's account, written by Dr. Cletus Acquire, with foreword by Vice President Mohamed Namadi Sambo.
Co-chairman of the occasion, Dr. Mwasu Babangida Aliu, Chairman, Northern Governors Forum, and Obon Goswick Apabio, Chairman, PDP Governors Forum.
Fathers of the day, Chief Tony Aneni, Chairman, PDP Board of Trustees, Alhaji Mahmoud Yayala Ahmed, former SGF. Book presenters, Kebbi State Governor Saidu Akingari and Bayelsa Governor Sereki Dixon.
Chief motivator, Government State Governor Ibrahim Hassan Donkwambo, and book reviewer, Professor Charity Angya.
Chief celebrant, Governor Gabriel Suswam. Co-celebrant, First Lady Akije Doshima Suswam.
Chief House, Deputy Governor, Chief Stephen Lawani.
Special guests of honor, Senate President David Mark, House Speaker Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, and Governors of the Federation.
Distinguished guests of honor, President Goodluck Jonathan.
Date, Tuesday, 23rd September 2014. Venue, Yaradua Center, Abuja. Time, 10 a.m.
Coordinating Committee, Announcer.
Where is the Lacasera?
Find Junior.
Find the Lacasera.
Everything is better. A simple taste of freedom.
Lacasera. I love this drink. Board of Trustees, Management and staff of Tertiary Education Trust Fund cordially invite all participants to the 2014 Joint Tertiary Education Trust Fund and Federal Inland Revenue Service Interactive Forum with the theme Impact of Strategic Partnership in Collection of Education Tax, scheduled to hold as follows. The forum is being organized with a view to strengthening the cordial working relationship between Tertiary Education Trust Fund and Federal Inland Revenue Service. Attendance is strictly by invitation. Please, Management, Tertiary Education Trust Fund, Announcer.
On the global scene now, Sierra Leonean government's efforts to stop the Ebola virus's spread yield results as three-day curfew ends. Plus, Kenya marks 1 year of the Westgate attack, stepping up security measures. These and more on Global Tidbits with Gabriel Odu.
Streets in Sierra Leone's capital, Freetown, back to life after a 3-day curfew to stop the spread of Ebola virus disease. Authorities described the move as successful as more than 1 million households were checked for Ebola patients. And from Nairobi, Kenya,
Government says it is committed to bringing peace and stability nationwide as the country marks 1 year of Westgate attack. The Uhuru Kenyatta-led government has assured citizens that adequate security has been provided to ward off suspected Al-Qaeda-linked Al-Shabaab militants. From Ukraine, peace is gradually returning as government troops and pro-Russian rebels have begun withdrawing heavy artillery in the east of the country. That's Global Tidbits. Gabriel Odu, NTA News.
Sports now with Kene Magodike.
Football followers in the country have been assured that the 2014 Nigeria Football Federation elections scheduled for September 30th will be free and fair, as forms have been made available for interested candidates till Wednesday, 24th of September. Screening and release of final list will be on Thursday, 25th, while protest and appeals, in case of any, will be held on Friday. The roadmap was disclosed Monday in Abuja at the inauguration of the 10-man Electoral Committee and 5-man Electoral Appeals Committee.
We are going to work to ensure that we create a level playing field for everybody.
24 teams are set to compete in the 28th edition of All Financial Institutions Football Competition, built to kick off on the 2nd of October 2014 across 4 designated zones. Organizers say the competition, which will climax on October 18 at the Township Stadium in Ilori, Kwara State, continually serves as a platform for the promotion of unity, harmony and peaceful working relationship among key players in Nigeria's financial system.